Alright guys, Kalzain back with another video, and today we're going to be diving into the tech side of things, and we're going to be talking about the next iPhone, and mainly a discussion on some features I would like to see in the next round of iPhones, and I want to know what you guys' opinion are, whether you agree, what you think it needs, and let me know whether some of this stuff has already been confirmed or denied. I'm not really that current on what news has been put out there for the new iPhone, which I know has been rumored to be the iPhone 8, the iPhone X, the iPhone 10, the iPhone Edition, so whatever it's going to be called. And right here I got some stuff from my last night's Loot Gaming video. If you haven't gone ahead and checked out that unboxing, go ahead. I'll leave a link at the end of the video to that one. So let's get right into it. Now, one thing I'm fairly certain has already been confirmed that's going to be a new feature in the iPhone 8, which I'm just, for the sake of this video, I'm just going to call it the iPhone 8. But that would be OLED displays, which is the same kind of technology that Samsung's been using. And if you look at Samsung's displays, I'm not bashing iPhone, and I'm not over-promoting Samsung, but I guarantee if you look at the displays, you'll notice that the Samsung displays are much more vibrant, are more detailed, and just all around, it's a better experience looking at the phone. So, as a long-term Samsung user, it took me a while to get used to the iPhone screen, but I would really like to see Apple take it to that next level with the display and move to OLED. Now, from what I heard, it sounds like Apple's already working on OLED displays for it, that there was some sort of shortage this year. I'm not 100% sure on that, so take that with a grain of salt. But I would imagine that they would definitely incorporate OLED at this point. Now, the second feature, and this is one I personally think is a step they need to make this year, and that would be wireless charging. Now, for me, wireless charging has never really been that important because I had a Note 5 and I never used wireless charging, even though it had it built into the phone. But I think in 2017, for the Apple phones, for the iPhone, to not have wireless charging, I think would be a missed opportunity, and it'd be almost like just being a step behind the competition, because everyone wants a more wireless experience with your devices. No one wants to have to tangle with cords, sit there and mess with the plug jack. It's so much easier, especially if you work at a desk and like I'm going to be doing, running a channel. You can set your phone down right on the platform. It's all good to go. It's charging itself. If you want to hear more about some thoughts on wireless charging and you actually hear maybe some rant videos, I'd go check out Unbox Therapy. That's a subject Lou's very sensitive about. And if you want to know ways to kind of rig your current iPhone to be able to be wireless charged, go ahead and check that channel out. I'll leave a link in the description. But I think wireless charging is one of those almost must-have, features that they need to add into the next round of iPhones. Now, my third topic, it's not necessarily a gripe or even a major feature change, but I'd like to see them change the way that notifications are handled on the iPhone. As a long-term Android user, I'm used to when you have the lock screen, just like on iPhone, you have your list of notifications, and then you interact with one, and when you lock your screen, they're all still there open. On iPhone, that's not the case. When you interact with them and you close your phone, they disappear and they're in the notification drawer. Now, they're still there, but I think just having them stay present on the home screen or on the lock screen would be I guess it'd be a big change for me, and I like the way that notifications are handled on Android, especially since the 7.0 Nougat update where you can actually put them into folders based on messages, emails, things like that. I think that's definitely a necessary feature for the next round of iPhones. Now, my fourth feature that I would like to see, and this is kind of just, it's taking a feature that's already in iPhone and expanding on it, making it a little bit better, but I'd like to see an improvement in Siri's AI. I'd like to see it be a little bit more conversational maybe, but I would like to have it tell you more of the information it's presenting to you. It's one thing I noticed with the Google Assistant on the Pixel phone. When you ask it to look up a topic, it actually reads the answer to you, and Siri just goes, "Here, I found this in a search." And while it still presents the information to you, I think that with people trying to multitask and do different things at once, it makes it a little bit harder to try to read something when the AI can just read it to you. I think would just be a better option. So that's just one little thing I think needs change, as well as a couple other little software issues. Like I think that Google or Apple Maps definitely needs to be a little bit more accurate and be a little bit more up to date. So just some things like that. Another, I guess my fourth feature I would like to see is smaller bezels on the front. Now, I'm not saying that it needs to be a bezel-less phone, because I know a lot of people out there think that bezel-less phones are the way of the future. And while I think they are the most visually appealing, I think functionality, if you had no bezels on the front, you have nowhere to rest your hands while you're holding it. You're going to be really prone to bumping into stuff. And then if you have a crack on your screen, like if you have a corner chip right now on your phone and it doesn't shatter across in a spider web, you'll probably still be able to use your phone just fine. But if you have a display that the entire face of it is your screen and you get a corner crack like that, it's probably going to mess up the functionality of the phone. So I'm not saying, I don't personally think that completely bezel-less phones are the way to go. And I've asked several people that I know the same question. They all say the same thing, that a bezel-less phone is not necessarily the answer, but less bezel on the front and getting more screen, to deal with is a lot better option. I think the Galaxy S8 nailed that this year, and I'm hoping that Apple follows suit. Now, with that already in mind, this leads to number 5, and that's the home button. If they do a smaller bezel, I don't think there's a need for a physical home button on the front, or even like that one that's not an actual physical button, it's a capacitive one. I still don't think that would even be necessary. So I think that what I personally think would be really neat, a really neat touch for them to do, to get rid of the home button, yet still keep a functional home button in a fingerprint scanner on the back, is actually to turn the back Apple logo into your home button and fingerprint scanner. I think it'd be really unique, because it's not unique for the fact that it's on the back of the phone, because we've seen several phones that have fingerprint scanners on the back. But for the fact that just the shape and design of it would make it very unique to Apple. And if you look at where the Apple logo sits currently, it's in the perfect spot for a fingerprint scanner. And I think it'd just be a nice utilization of that classic Apple symbol that's already there, and give it an actual functioning purpose as well. So that's kind of my way of suggesting to keep the physical home button, keep the Touch ID, but move it off the front and put it on the back, so that way they can go with less bezel on the front. So I think that's probably the best option there. Now, the only other things I think, like feature-wise, that the next round of iPhones will need, and I will say, I think the battery life is excellent on the iPhone 7, although I think it could still use a little bit of improvement. So I'm hoping for just a little bit longer battery life. Now, I've had 2 days since I've had this phone, and I've had it for over a month now. I've had 2 days where I've had to charge it more than once a day, which is that's way better than any Samsung phone I have ever had. And that's not bashing Samsung, but I think for most people that have been long-term Samsung users, you know that your battery dwindles over time, and it has a rapid default, or down spiral on battery life. So this iPhone has extremely surpassed my expectations of battery life. So that's great. It still burns through it a little quick if you're doing a lot of heavy multitasking, like if you're doing any kind of video editing or anything seriously strenuous on it, your battery will drain like that. I uploaded one video using LumaFusion on my iPhone 7, and that was my iPhone 7 review video. And my battery went from like 68% down to 32% to put up a 10-minute video. So it is incredibly strenuous on the battery, and I would just like to see a little bit better battery management for more exhausting tasks. So I think they'll about do it. I mean, the iPhone is a really solid product. I like a lot of things that Apple's doing. I think the biggest, there's one other one, I guess. I would like to see them be able to add custom widgets, and for a few main apps, I think it'd be really useful. Things like Spotify, so you can keep your music pulled up, because these are the only ones I've used on Android, and that was like a music one, and I think Spotify would be really cool, and iTunes would both have really good functionality there. But I think a YouTube widget where you can keep a thread of recently posted videos, maybe, 4 or 5 of them there, and you can flip through them. I think that would be awesome on the iPhone. So definitely do that. And I think just adding a little bit of customization stuff that Android uses, being able to go in and tweak some of the animation speeds, some of that kind of stuff, I think that would be really useful. I'm not saying that iOS should just clone Android and be super customizable, because let's face it, 90% of the people that use Android really don't customize their phone all that much. That's why most people don't notice that big of a difference if they go from Android to iPhone, because most of them didn't use that kind of customization options that Android had available. But for those that did, they found them very useful, and I think that adding some of those to iPhone would be a really good step for iPhone, be able to match that software playing field there on customizable, make people feel like their phone is unique to them. Right now you have the Apple experience, but the thing is, I guess where that's a trade-off is Apple has always consistently run better, iPhones always consistently run better and last longer than your average Android phone. So I guess that's like a personal preference type thing. So let me know what you guys think on that subject. So I'm thinking that's about it. I think I had one other topic, but it's kind of escaping me at the moment. So, alright guys, well, let me know your thoughts below. Are you excited for the new iPhone? Do you think it's going to be anything really different from the iPhone 7? Do you think it's going to be a dramatic jump or worth the price tag that's been rumored to be placed on it? And what do you think? Do you think if someone's looking to buy the iPhone 7, do you think they should go ahead and get it now, or should they wait for the next iPhone? My personal recommendation, and since I already reviewed the iPhone 7, I feel comfortable saying this, but at this point in time, if you were on the pivot, if you have the iPhone 6 or 6S or even the iPhone 5, and you're debating upgrading to the iPhone 7, my personal advice would be to wait. At least wait long enough to see what Apple's going to announce for their new iPhone, and see the price tag that's going to be attached to it before you make a decision. Because usually they release in the fall, so if you can hold out with that phone for another 4 or 5 months, whatever it is, I would do it. The iPhone 7's a great phone. If you're really set on getting that, go ahead and pick it up. You won't regret it. But if you're on the edge, I would wait for the iPhone 8 or whatever the next iPhone's going to be. So, alright, that'll wrap this video up. If you guys like this content, go ahead and hit the like button. Share this around as much as possible. Go ahead and subscribe if you're not already subscribed, so you can stay up to date on everything I post on my channel. And if you want to help what I'm doing here, if you want to help me be able to run this channel full time and be able to bring you guys as much high quality content, the best quality I can offer, go ahead and head over to my Patreon account and check it out. No one's obligated to donate anything, but anything you do will be helpful. And the more help I get on this, the better quality and the more time I can put into these. So I'm doing this for you guys, so hopefully you guys are enjoying this content. Go ahead and follow me on Twitter at General Kalzain. And for the gaming side of things, if you guys want to check me out or if you guys want to get a hold of me on PlayStation, my PlayStation name is General Nude, and with a 3 at the end. And it'll be in the outro at the end of the video, as well as a new Facebook fan page I built for this channel, and it's just a channel name, Kalzain Gaming and Tech. Alright, catch you all later.